and they're coming up to remind us that we have gifts. And this piece is about that, an acknowledgement of the experience, and an acknowledgement that we should go back and recapture our legacy, because we come from a very rich and powerful inheritance that we seem not to be aware of.
So what do you think are some of our major gifts?
What are our major gifts? I believe the strength of spirit. I think that's a gift that we have, and we sometimes don't acknowledge it. The strength of being people that are extremely compassionate and creative and transformative. And we forget that we're capable of doing fantastic things. My first experience when I went to Ghana, I visited the dungeons where they used to, when they captured the slaves, they put them in in Elmina, and it was one of the castles where they used to put them. And when you physically stand in the dungeons where they used to capture the people, you realize that the space was very small. You realize that they packed the people there because they were captured. Obviously, and you realize when you're in Africa that it's the tropics, it is very hot. People are sweating. You realize that people were there not only sweating, but people were, they captured them in a violent way where there were blood. You realize there was no bathrooms. And when you stand in that space, it suddenly becomes very clear to you the level of suffering that the people had. In my experience in the dungeons, we had a guide, and the guide said to us, and at some point there was a little door, and he said, and this is the door of no return, because that was the door in which they used to make sure that there was a small door that the slave go to that door and then go into the boat. And I had an interesting experience in which I felt very deeply that I had a voice coming from the deep of my soul, and it came out and said, no, we returned. And in acknowledging that we returned in the sense that it gave me a sense that I was part of the continuum. I was part of that gene pool that have survived. And not only that I have survived, but simply that it was amazing. But it took tremendous effort for people to survive very strenuous experiences. And it gave me a sense of being proud of coming from a people that were not only survivors, but also strive.
Very strong people.
And were triumphant through those experiences. And in today's society, I teach. So one of the things I noticed that our young generation, they give up too soon. And part of making this peace is to let them know that we should not give up so soon, because we come from a place of strength.
Definitely, and probably one of the really nice crowning moments in this whole history is Mr. Obama's election, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We were been rooting for this to happen for so many years, and when you see in the television,
like thousands of years,
people
right?
crying, and that you understand the impact and the importance of these elections in this country, because of its history.
Do you have a feeling that maybe this is the end of those dark ages and the beginning of the 1,000 years of light they've been describing for like all these 1,000 millennia, ever since the Bible and even before?
Yes, I do. I also feel that when we having these elections, it's almost like a revolution in this country, but without blood.
And the world too, right?
And the world too. But a revolution without blood. It was the moment he won. Psychologically, there was a shift.
Right.
And I thought that was truly a magical moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to make things much more easy for Trip for Love to happen too. How you feel about Trip for Love? Given that it's basically designed to, unite the whole planet and tune everybody into all these wonderful people, teachers just like yourself, and all this entertainment, showing bicyclists, what's going on the buses, all these festivals every weekend, and gathering all the resources on the global mall, and then just sponsoring all these organizations, lobby groups in all these 200 plus countries as we go through in 10 years to clean everything up. How do you feel about all that?
I think it's important that any effort that we have an opportunity to exchange with people in a positive way. Okay, that's important to us too, because you could be exchanging in a not positive way, bombing them or something like that. No, but any opportunity we have to get to know each other, to understand each other, I think that it's fruitful and it's transformative for both sides.
Definitely. Yeah, well, the whole bombing and the wars, it's probably more part of our caveman, past, but now it's probably time to, shift all that
to do something different.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Do you believe all of the good stuff that can happen? The world can unite and really just help itself,
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Yes. That's why you think the Tibetan monks have spent so many years just chanting around to make sure that the energies change, that we can have some peace. There has to be some strong beliefs, and not only beliefs but actions taken that would help to shift the energies into positive energies and engage people in the possibility, and people to have the imagination that life could be lived differently. It's about that.
Well, it sounds like you have that imagination already. So, and there's millions of people out there, so I guess it's just a matter of bringing everybody together, And
I think there's so many people that really want the same thing.
Right.
It's the minority that is the one that seems to be living the world, pulling it down, not the majority.
Yeah, I know. Right now, isn't it almost like the little flea, is controlling the elephant on this string, invisible string? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. How can a huge planet like this with all the good people in it be, be somehow controlled by a room full of people that just somehow haven't seen the light yet, maybe, but I think they will too,
I think so too.
Nice, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.